what you will not want to do. You'll not want to repeat anything in the portfolio. While thematically you may have chosen to discuss personal circumstances that explain a gap in your academic life, but at the same time, a great driving force in your academic life, don't get too personal. The appeal is not emotional. It's on the level of logic, all right? Anything that is empty, that is just filling text, things like privilege to work at your institution, I'd be very honored, since I was a child I like to do this, all of those need to go, all right? And I'll give you a list of the things that are typical, that we typically see in personal statements. One of the things that you don't want to do is be negative. I found that everything was really, really bad, so I decided to fix it myself, or I just decided to run to the United States. That's another thing you might want to reconsider. I understand that this is the Department of Political Science, but also refrain from being too opinionated, having very strong political opinions. You have no idea who's reading this, do you? I mean, you have no idea what their political opinions are, and this is really not a place for that. Don't exaggerate. Don't attempt to be humorous. This is not really the context for that. And don't state the obvious. Don't say things that the reader already knows. As you know, it is important for a scientist to have a well-equipped lab. Of course the reader knows that, right? Cut out anything that states the obvious. Don't be tempted to take the easy way out and say, personal story is too hard. I'm just going to start with a definition. Excellence is da-da-da-da-da. Or a quote. Franklin Roosevelt says, ask not what you can do for your country, but what your country can do for you. Don't do that. Okay. First of all, as soon as you use somebody else's words, you've lost the power in this conversation. You've given the opening line, which is the most important, to someone else. Second of all, they don't care what Franklin Roosevelt said. They want to get to know you, right? Not your ability to find quotations. So this is important. Using cliches, and I've compiled a list of the cliches that I've found in personal statements in the next slide. I know this is a personal essay and it's about you, but avoid constantly using the word I. There are many ways to do this, to go around this. But I do think that if what you have is a strong narrative that's pushing itself, you'll feel more comfortable removing the I, because you're always present. You're still the author of this. Everything you do is about you. So removing the I is helpful. Don't announce your intentions. So after the first paragraph, in this essay, I will proceed to explain to you why. No need for announcing intentions. Jump right into it. Don't use the passive voice. Why am I saying this? Because a lot of this carries on from Arabic. This was done. This was committed. Without somebody doing it, the sentence is problematic. It doesn't sound quite right. So work on the passive voice. I know this is just one of the transitions from Arabic. Don't go back to childhood and say that ever since I was little, I used to play with dolls and I used to, measure their temperature, and that's why I want to become a doctor. That's nice, but it's very worrying because it kind of says, I need somebody who's mature. That's one of the things people are looking for in a student. Somebody, ambassador of Egypt, has to be very mature. While it's nice that you have this story, that's not the story you want to highlight. I'm going to keep saying this. Don't be tempted to buy one or take one off the internet. It's work, but it's really good work. I mean, it's an opportunity to reflect on yourself. Another good thing is once you write your personal statement, with very few adjustments regarding the institution you're going, this is multi-purpose. You can be using this for a very long time to apply to various institutions.